My name's Jim. I'm from Blues, and most of you may be wondering, who is Blues? How come I've never heard of you guys? And I'll tell you why. We've been around since about 2018. The first 3 years was all spent in R&D, and I will show you what we're doing across industries, micromobility included, to help people that are trying to connect physical products to the cloud, to do that in a way where you don't box yourself into a corner. This is a pervasive problem that many of you are familiar with. Okay, so I'm going to set up first kind of the landscape that was going on while Blues was becoming a company. Okay, we didn't start off in the micromobility space, but McKinsey, who was just on stage, they projected back in 2019 that the size of the micromobility market would be about 500 billion by 2023. This little thing called COVID happened. There were a couple of economic crashes that occurred during this time. And so the corrected projection is 200 billion by this year. And so due to a lot of things out of everyone's control, the projections were wrong, and often projections are. Also at the same time, this was about a year ago last summer, Crunchbase put out an article that reported that VCs had squandered billions on micromobility startups. Some of you may have seen these data, but these data are reasons why micromobility has had a problem gaining adoption. Weather conditions, high prices, insecure bike lane networks, distance to the next vehicle, poor suburban service, and low availability at public transit stations. There's another reason why it's had challenges, specifically in the connectivity space. In the past, companies trying to connect their bikes, their scooters, their products to the cloud have really only had two choices of how you do that. One choice is buy a bag of parts. The other choice is to use a completely configured harness that is completely black box. This is what it does. You can't change it. Okay. And a lot of people went that route because the bag of parts approach takes years, and often those projects led to failure. So this was all going on while Blues was becoming a company. Here's the good news. Gartner has these hype cycles. You may have seen the Gartner hype cycle, whether it be for cloud, for IoT, for AI, but they have one for the connected vehicle smart mobility market. So this is their picture. This has nothing to do with Blues, but effectively, we're right in the bottom of that trough right now. Okay, so the good news is the hype has happened, and now we're coming out of it. What a great time for Blues to enter the micromobility space while everybody else has done all the hard work. So at the same time that was going on, there was another mega market event happening, and this all ties together. Some of you who have driven up the 101 may have seen a billboard that says C3 AI, we're hiring. Okay, I was part of that AI company. I was employee number 6, and I was there for almost 12 years. This mega market folds into what is happening in micromobility. So in 2008, there were less than 1 billion connected devices. 2023, 55 billion connected devices. In 2008, the AI market as we know it today was effectively non-existent. 2023, it's a $450 billion market. The public cloud market in 2008 was about 20 billion, and today it's about a $500 billion market. Skip too far. This was the big one. Everyone's heard of ChatGPT, okay? Everybody's crazy about this thing. But a year ago, the market was zero. By 2032, this is a $1.3 trillion market. So when you look at what's happened through the hype cycle and micromobility, meeting this mega market event, this is a very interesting time to be a part of this space. The unlock that's going to happen here, both on the technical side and the business model side, is significant. Okay, I want to talk about point number 2. The only reason anybody's doing all of this as it relates to connecting any product you see out here to the cloud is for AI. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. If the answer isn't these data are going to be used for AI, I think the people working on the solution are selling themselves short. AI needs data. In 2019, only 10% of IoT projects were utilizing AI. You look at 2023, 80% of them are. So it's been a massive shift change. In 2019, IoT devices were generating 18 zettabytes of data. Contrast that by 2025, 73 zettabytes of data. If you don't know what a zettabyte is, let me just say it's big. It's really, this is big data, okay? This is also an interesting statistic from Gartner that searches for AIoT have increased by 275% in the last 5 years. Is there anyone here who disbelieves that the data generated from micromobility products is not going to have an effect on AI? Raise your hand. Good, no hands. I did that really fast on purpose. All right, so this is what when I think of Blues, this is what I think of. If we look at the hype cycle in micromobility, for Blues, we chose not to get involved in this market early. We felt like there was a lot of hype, everybody was creating products, and where you place your investments matters, and because that's time, and time sunk. And so we waited. And I built this slide saying basically in a transitioning market, which is what we're in, it's not as important to be the early bird as the bird that perseveres. I had no idea that the ostrich or family of ostrich species had been around for 10 million years. Pretty interesting stat. Okay, so meet Blues. Here we are. Tim, raise your hand. Jesse, raise your hand. I have to run right after this show, but I've put a QR code, if you can take a picture of that, to my LinkedIn profile, or you can talk to Tim or Jesse right after. They've got information on Blues. But we exist for one reason. Our mission is to help companies take physical products and turn them into cloud-connected intelligent services. Hard stop. That's why we exist. This is complicated, especially when you're talking about decisions that you have to make. Most people who have tried to connect any type of product to the cloud make a decision that they believe is the easiest, fastest way to get something done to prove that it can be done. That often leads to putting yourself into a corner that when you try to engineer your way out of it, what was supposed to be 6 months is now a year, is now 2 years, is now 3 years, and everybody's frustrated. So Blues exists to create a two-way door. Part of choosing how to connect your micromobility solutions to the cloud requires you choose a communication backhaul that is the best fit for what you're doing. Some of the products out here are stationary docking stations. A lot of them are things that move around. Some of them are batteries. There is not one fit in a connected solution that fits all of these things. This is a choice that has to be made by a developer. So we provide an alternative to the very hard, complex bag of parts approach and boxing yourself into a corner with a pre-configured black box is what I'm going to call it. Blues is a hardware-led SaaS company. Our emphasis is basically becoming a data pump for your product. It could be a docking station, it could be a battery, it could be a bike, it could be a scooter, it could be a porta potty, for all we care. Tim has a customer who's making the first world's connected porta potty. It's simple, it's highly secure, it's very cost effective, and it's sustainable. We're used for remote monitoring, so every presentation you hear about predictive maintenance, that's remote monitoring with AI. We're used for tracking. We're actually used for control also, even on the power grid. We're in a whole bunch of use cases, okay? You can see the micromobility one kind of highlighted there. That is one of the many use cases that we do. And I kind of stole my punchline earlier. Yes, even porta potties. We also do AI on the device. A lot of people think that you have to shift your data from the device up into the cloud, run your machine learning up there, and bring it back down or send it to an application. Our devices actually allow you to do AI right on the device. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I saw the first tiny ChatGPT module running on an edge device. This is innovation. All right, what are we doing? We're trying to harmonize and simplify the decision that founders and developers and product managers have to make when they're trying to create a connected solution. What if you didn't have to make a choice? What if you could design your product and choose your connectivity at any point in time, and the developer experience and the API to the cloud was the same? Nobody does this, okay, except for Blues. So develop your product, Build your host processor on your product, write your own software, your own firmware. And the idea is that after that, you can choose, is it going to be cellular? Is it going to be satellite? Is it going to be LoRa? Is it going to be Wi-Fi? Is it going to be cellular and Wi-Fi? And Blues provides the ability for you to make those choices after your design. This is what we call wireless harmonization. This is the third key anchor of this presentation. So harmonization in 3 areas. First one, radio access technologies. You may hear the nerds call it RAT, okay? Various RATs. Harmonization of location. There are a lot of ways to find out where something is. Sometimes those are good, sometimes they're bad. Which one is best? Depends. And harmonization of your data flow. At the end of the day, Blues is a data pump. We pump data from your device to the cloud. All right, let's talk about RAT harmonization really quick. All right, here's the problem today. You've got your device on the left, there's your scooter. You pick your host, which is the little tiny computer running on the device, and then you say, how is this thing gonna talk to the cloud? Well, you gotta go pick some type of communication backhaul or radio access technology. How do I get that data to the cloud? And finally, on the other end, how do I build an application for my device? There's a lot of complexity at each one of these choices. All right, this is controversial, okay? It's designed to be controversial. If I tell you modems are dead, I'm not saying that modems don't exist anymore. But let me give you a analog to this. How many companies today build their own database, their own relational database technology? 0, because you can buy it from Oracle or Snowflake, or you can download an open source relational database. Nobody builds their own relational database technology. Nobody today, if they were sane, would take a modem and write their own custom code against the modem's AT commands. This is like going back to like 1976, okay? So when we say modems are dead, what we're saying is, as a developer, you shouldn't have to worry about the complexity of choosing a modem and what that's going to do to your product. Meet the Neo modem. Okay, what is a Neo modem? A Neo modem is a communication backhaul that's already pre-configured, regardless of what you're picking, Wi-Fi, cellular, LoRa, satellite, that will pump your data to the cloud, and it just works. Okay, this is a Neo modem. Here's a cellular one. There's various versions of this. Works around the world. It comes with data configured. So when you buy this and turn it on, there is no carrier relationship with a carrier. You put it in your device, you give it power, and it works around the world. There's no monthly fee. There's no activation charge. The communication costs is actually baked into the hardware as part of the bill of material. You just put it in. No subscriptions and no contracts. Okay, this is breaking the business model. So now all you have to do is say, hey, my product is going to be based on a cellular communication backhaul. It's going to communicate to the nearest cell tower. It automatically pushes data to the cloud, and voila, it shows up in my cloud application for me. This is very simple. We're in booth 200. There's a little tiny kid's Vespa scooter sitting in front of that booth. Okay, we don't sell the Vespa. We don't make scooters. But last night, our engineer who's here today connected that scooter to the cloud. It does acceleration, location, impact detection. Did it fall over in a night? Because we took all the pain out of how do you build a connected solution. In less than a day, he got that Vespa connected to the cloud. So go look at it. Okay, multi-RAT. What if you could just swap these things in and out? Okay, this was the title of the talk. What if you needed to switch from one cellular access to another, or from cellular to cellular Wi-Fi, or from cellular to satellite? And all you had to do was change the hardware out, and the API to the cloud was the exact same. Pretty cool concept. That saves you years of work. And by the way, you've got to go hire engineers if you want to do this yourself that understand those communication backhauls. With Blues, you don't have to. A developer who knows just basic JSON code can get a product connected to the cloud. So we have the LoRa version, the Wi-Fi version, the Notecard cell Wi-Fi, and we are working on satellite. So cell Wi-Fi, why is this important to a micromobility product? Does anybody care about where a battery or a bike or a scooter is at any point in time? okay? Most of these products are using cellular triangulation or GPS. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you get a location that isn't where you are. I'll talk about that in a second. We have a Wi-Fi product that connects to a nearest Wi-Fi gateway. And LoRa, if you don't know what LoRa is long range wide area network. It's really good about going super far or penetrating down through like a skyscraper subsurface. They use it in mines a lot because you can't get any other coverage there. So we have a LoRa version of the product. You need the LoRa note card, you need a LoRa gateway, and voila, it connects to the cloud. So here's all three. They all three push data to the cloud. Satellite is coming. So again, the principle of develop and then make a choice is different than box yourself into a corner using a one-way door. Okay, location. I talked about location for a second. I talked to somebody at the booth that said, I want to know, is this thing sitting in a certain stall or a certain lot? And the location is telling me it's right here, but it's actually like 100 feet away. Okay, that's a location problem. Here's an example. There's me. There's where it's saying is me. This is a single cell tower location. So we use cell tower triangulation. It gets it a little closer. But this is a very power-hungry function on the device. Where am I? So it's using power. It's sending data up. It's also time-consuming. It doesn't work indoors. All right, so when we add Wi-Fi to it, it'll find the nearest Wi-Fi hotpoint, and we have a back-end service that knows the location of that Wi-Fi hotpoint. So we can get it even closer by adding Wi-Fi onto the cellular card. This improves your location accuracy of these products. And it will tell you what is the best location. If you click into it, it'll tell you it was the GPS location or it was the Wi-Fi location. It'll tell you which one was the best. Data flow. I'm going to skip through this pretty fast. The whole idea with Blues is you put any of these cards in, the developer experience is super simple. The cards are already FCC certified, so there's no certification needed. None of the data transmit over the public internet, so it's highly secure. So security is taken care of, certification is taken care of. Carrier is already included in the cost. You don't have a carrier contract. So you just put this thing in and start pumping data to any cloud application you have and start building business applications on the other end. Last week we had a hackathon. We started the hackathon at 10 a.m. We finished at 3. There were 6 projects that got done. All of them had an end application. Most people haven't even figured out how to like build the freaking device first in that amount of time, but we did 6 projects in, I guess it was 6 hours, and demoed those in 3 minutes each. My invitation to you, number 1, go to our website, that QR code right there. You can buy a dev kit for like $100. It comes with the boards, it comes with antennas, comes with various versions of the note card. So it's a little kit. You go to our website, it'll walk you through how to do it. Even if you're not a developer, you can actually get data flowing to the cloud within a half hour, okay? Number 2, if you want to do a project with us and you have something that's been really hard and you're frustrated, we'll come in and do a 2-day proof of concept with you. Our engineers come in, we bang it out in 2 days. Here's an example. This happened about a month ago in Amsterdam. I'm going to skip to the punchline here. This was a multi-year effort with this company before. They're in a variety of battery applications, including micromobility. 3-year effort with a vendor, failed. Hired their own team internally. 10 months later, CEO canned them. It's not making progress. A partner of ours, Bob Vero, some of you may know Bob, mentioned to this customer, hey, I've got this company that I know about, Blues. They think they can do this in 2 days. CEO said, not possible, but let them try. So we came in, we finished in a day and a half. Bob calls the CEO, said, hey, your battery's connected, and they built an application. CEO's like, not possible. He's like, come over. So he drives 40 kilometers from their business to Bob's business, and we demoed the product to him. This is a service that's available to you if you have a scale project you want to work on. We're not going to waste anyone's time. It needs to be a scale project, you need to be serious, but we will come in and bang it out with you. All right, so again, we exist to harmonize radio access, location, and data flow. What does that do? That unlocks hyperscale. I'm going to end with this in my last 15 seconds. The CEO of this company is the real deal. His name's Ray Ozzie, and everything he has touched has been a hyperscale success. He created Microsoft Azure. He created the predecessor to blockchain. And you can see by the accolades up here, he's no joke. He's a coding, engineering-based, architectural CEO. He's created what we do today. And I'll hold up his little invention here, the note card. So I didn't bring a bike up on stage. This is mine. But this is Ray's invention, and it's an amazing venture. I'm happy to be his partner. Tim and Jesse are here to take questions. They've got handouts. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.